Okay, let's run that beast. Open browser, fill form, check the database and generate a report. Yes, that's it. My name is Roland. I'm PHP trainer and developer, and I do software entertainment. So today I will show you how I write a Codeception integration test for a HTML form and check if the data is going right directly to the database. So we have here our Sulu Symfony content management system base project, and here we got a form, and in this form I can just add an email and send it, and after that there is a thank you here, and in the database there will be here our item. So for me it's super important to know that this application here is working fine. Otherwise I have a big problem, because when I do advertising or try to generate any traffic for my page, and anybody of my new clients will fill this form and I don't get his email to contact him or even can see that it is working, I have a lot of problems. And so I have to validate this contact form here. In this video I will show you how Codeception works and how to write a test to check things in databases. Okay, let's have a look at PHPStan and to our application. We have here the test. We can close it because we write a new test. We have here a README. With this README you can super simple set up your own local DDEV application here with the Sulu CMS. Here are a few steps also to set up the tests. And I will close all my files here. This project is at GitHub. It's an open source project. I give it to the community, and this is also the source for the projects when I do new project with the Sulu CMS, so please use it. I have here a few video tutorials from scratch to build a new web page. Also there's a video how to do a website from scratch in 2 hours. So check out my stuff here in the video description. For now, you will see what Codeception is doing here. We have a Codeception YAML file in the root folder. And here we have modules. And you see here that there's a website URL, what I need as an environment variable, because my tests are running on different systems with different URLs, staging URLs and whatever. So I need this here in a variable. We have here also the DB configuration with the database host, the database port, database name, database user, and database path. As you see here, all these variables come from a .n file. If you just remove the dot here, then Codeception will look at your environment variables on the command line. So when I work, I have all the configurations here in the Codeception YAML file, also for the WebDriver module, or here for the DB, or any other configuration that I need. And this is normally here in the acceptance YAML file from the suite. But for me and for my DevOps and admin team, it's easier when they just have to look at one file for the configuration, so you can do all configuration in one file and use everything else what you need, like the modules here for the acceptance suite, is just using WebDriver and assets. When you want to do an integration test, you have to add another module, and so we have here an integration test suite. And here's a YAML file, and this YAML file will also have the modules DB working. For me, it's important to separate these two suites because there are maybe environments like the live environment where I only want to run acceptance tests that are only checking routes or some SEO parts or whatever and don't interact with the database. But on the way to there, on staging or feature branches, I want to see that the database is working fine. So I add here a DB module. So for now, let us add a new integration test because we want to write a test for our form that checks an email in our database. For this, I go back to the terminal and I just can say vendor bin Codeception G test, and now I want to do it in the integration, and I already have done this test here, but we will say we do here something like YouTube for our YouTube video. Now Codeception bootstrapped me a test file. Let's take a look at it. From YouTube test, and we have here our namespace with this little bug here, and now we have here our integration tester, and this is a normal setup for a test. It's a PHP class, and we have all the power of PHP right here, right now, and we have here some dependency injection, and we want to check our page. So let's check the page here. We have this URL here, and normally I will use under support page and base PHP file, and here I have all my selectors that I need now for my test. When I have this here on variables, it's much easier for me to read it in the test, and I also have one single point where I can add new selectors or where I can change selectors when I need to get better selectors, and I can reuse this for other projects because there will be something like a newsletter subscription or anything where you also just enter an email and check if this goes to the database. So for now we have here our URL, our form email, our form submit, and we have a form success text. So far, so good. So let's go to the test. We will inject this here and say $page. I always use the $page variable here. Also, you can imagine when you have an e-commerce application that you maybe have not only a base page object, something like category or whatever, so you can just match it on your page variable, so you can write every time the same syntax in your tests and just inject other page objects. $I am on page, double point, page, double point, and then we have here our URL form. And now I have to wait that the page is loaded. So I do in $I wait for element form page, and I wait for this email here. You have here also a second parameter, optional parameter, where you can say here is a timeout. Normally it's waiting 5 seconds till it breaks, but maybe you want to check if your page is loading fast, so you can do maybe 2 seconds here. And when the page rendering is longer than 2 seconds, the test will fail. Okay, so we have now here our before setup. This will run every time before a public function. All public functions here are tests. You don't have to write tests in the beginning or on the end or on any annotations or something like this. I just say here validate email is going to a database. For now, later you will see that we also can generate a report where we can see this method name as sense. $I fill field. Now I also inject my base page object here. And say $page, and maybe I just write here test at nevercodealone.de. When I will do a test like this, I will have a big problem, because when I already run this test, I have an email in the right column here, what is test at nevercodealone.de. So in the future, when the application maybe have a bug, and I only look for a static email address, this email address will be fine and the test is going to be green. Also when an error is here. This is a big problem. So we have to do something better here. First we will refactor this to a variable and say this is an email here. And now we will add a timestamp here. The timestamp will add the seconds. Here is an integer value. We can use this here on this acceptance integration tests because they are not so super fast. When we will use API tests or unit tests or anything else, this will run in the same second. So you will have a problem there, but for now, time and seconds is a great solution. So we just add it here. And now we have a good email. So now I am on the page, wait for element and fill the field with the element. After that, I will click the submit link. You also can do here a key press for the enter key or whatever you want to test. For now, I just do a click because normally I just click something with the mouse. This is my way to fill fields, yes. $page form submit. And after that, here is now an Ajax request, and there will just come a new text with this thank you. So I just wait for text. $page, this is also in a variable. We have this form success text. So for now it's super easy. We just write 5 lines and we have here a test for our form. And now we will validate our database. So let me show you the database. It's here on Codeception. We can also say we have this base and with, I think it's 3.6. We have PHPMyAdmin here. And now we have a DB here. And in this DB there is this form dynamics. And in this form dynamics, when you will see here, we have our example data. So we have this form here. $I C in database. This comes from the DB module in Codeception. Now we need here the table, and under this table we need an array with our criteria. So let's check the column. It's data, and we have here this string. Whoopa, this was wrong, but we can use it like this. Data and a pointer, and now we have here this string. And we can say here, please use our variable with $email. And this test is ready. Now we can run this test. So we have this test here under integration form YouTube test. I just go to here, say vendor bin concept run integration, and we can say, okay, please show me the steps here on my terminal and generate an HTML report. This is cool for me. So I just say here form / integration test, and now I will run this test here. Whoa, and this is green. So let's open the report. We have here our Google Chrome test output report, and we can just open it, and now it's here you see my method name validate email is going to database. I am on page, I wait for element, I fill field, click it, wait for thank you, and I see in database the right entry here. So we only write a few lines. This was super fast to check here in form and to build and test. Testing is super easy, super important, super fast. It will protect us for a lot of horror things, and we will have lovely days when we will use testing. If you like this video, please thumb up here and share it, follow this channel here, and thank you.